Hi everyone. Oh, I'm just in a huge mess in this room right now, and look who I've got with me. He's chewing my notes. We have got Louis. Louis. You're being very naughty, aren't you? But very, very cute. Okay, so Louis is gonna chill out in here with me. It's really weird. As soon as I get the tripod out and the camera, he literally sits on the floor in front of the camera. It's the weirdest thing. Some of you, before we get into this, have been asking how he's been getting along with the rabbits. So he has now met both of them. We introduced him right from day one, and the rabbits were kind of like, what we did is they're not caged in the house, but to keep everyone safe, we have put up this like large fence, so they're still running around the kitchen, but they're just divided from him so that no mishaps can happen. And they saw each other through the fence, all cool. Rabbits were, particularly Lola, the white rabbit, she was a bit like, oh, not sure about this. Jessie though, Jessie has been fabulous. She is so interested in Louis, and he actually licked her on the nose yesterday. Still both either side of a fence, just in case she goes for him, because she can be quite aggressive, but she is really, really interested in him and almost like she wants to be friends. So we've got high hopes, but that's kind of what's going on there. One of you said, can the rabbits be in more videos? I'm definitely going to film them. It's just difficult at the moment because we've only had Louis 1 week, and for any of you who have had a new puppy, you might remember or know how demanding it is. It's as demanding as I had it down for, but basically he's now in this room, which used to be where the rabbits used to play, but just for now, logistically, this is his at the moment. They have got the kitchen. So things will resume in an orderly fashion once he's sort of like more toilet trained and what have you. But anyway, he is chewing my notes. Look, you see the edge of my page there? He's just done that. So what I thought we could talk about is things that I have sold that I on a level sometimes really deeply regret, other times I can't. It's not that I deeply regret it, but I reach for that item every so often and it's not there because I sold it, and I'm like, where is that bag? Oh god, yeah, I sold it. What did I do that for? I'm just going to quickly show you him because he's being very cute. Look, here he is, chewing on my notes, sitting on my leggies. Isn't he cute? What are you doing? Leave my papers. Leave my papers alone. Oh, look at that face. He's like a little fox, isn't he? So cute. What are you doing? Where are you going? What? Saying hi to everyone. Licking the... That's nice. I'm going to have to clean that off. Okay, so over the years, as I think with most of us, you know how your tastes change or your lifestyle changes. There are a couple of bags I've bought recently that I've bought because of him. And there are bags I've sold because I don't use them. And it's just life, I suppose, isn't it? The first bag that I've bought because of him has been this one. This is from Cocoa Pup London. And can you see it's got like boucle on the strap handle, and it's got teddy bears on it, and then hanging from that is this, which you could put like your AirPods in. And what's really good, sorry, for anyone who hasn't got a dog, you're gonna be like, what? See that on the side? That's where you put their poop bags, and like they stick out there, and then you can rip one off as you need it. So I'm looking forward to like being able to go on walks with him, because I actually bought the matching harness for this, so we can all look like we're matching. But that's the kind of thing I'm buying at the moment. I'm not sort of like buying these big designer brands, even though I have bought some Hermes pieces this year, but I'm not really like buying on the level that I was. But one of the first things that I like low-key regret selling, but on another hand I don't, but I do but I don't, is a bag that I owned back in 2016. I don't know how many of you remember it, but it was the Chanel mini rectangle, and it was in patent coral, and it was like a really, really beautiful bag. And I remember buying it for, it must have been £1,600, do you know that? And I remember back then Chanel was expensive, but it wasn't it wasn't like how it is now, where it's just unreasonable, in my opinion, and not worth it. Back then it was expensive, but you were like, okay, fair enough, it's Chanel, it's going to go up in value. Now I feel like it's like slightly different. But I sold that bag, and I remember who I sold it to, and I doubt you still have it. You may have sold it on yourself, but it was a really beautiful bag. I didn't really use it. I remember, if I can find the picture, I'll put it in here, but I was looking at this as well as like a cobalt blue version of it that was part of that collection that year, and I ended up going for the coral. And yeah, I sold it. Why did I sell it? It was just too small for me. I do this. I went through a phase where I used to buy really tiny bags that served me no purpose because they were way too small. The other bag that a little bit of me regrets selling because of sentimental reasons, and again, it went to one of you. And it is, how many of you remember this bag? This I sold last year, and it's the Chanel Boy, but it was in champagne caviar. And the boy bag itself, I don't like the boy bag for reasons I've told you about. I find it a frustrating bag to use. But the reason why I kind of regret selling that bag is just because of sentimental reasons. So I went and looked around Chanel 2018, I think is when I bought that bag. Yeah, 2018, 2019. And my husband was with me, and he saw it and was like, oh my God, you have to get that bag. The colour of it is just incredible. And I said to him, I was like, yeah, but it's a boy, and I really don't like the boy bag. It's just problematic for me. And he kept going on at me. He was like, no, you need it, you need it, you need it. He is a real enabler when it comes to handbags. And I ended up buying it just because he loved it. And I never really used that bag because the boy bag gets a saggy bottom, in my experience, if you use it on the frequent, and I didn't want to do that to it. So I sold it. And I sold it to one of you. And I remember I did it on a live stream with Luxury Promise, and I told the story of how and when I bought it, and the memory behind it. And so I hope that if you are the person who bought that bag, love it. Please love that bag. I hope you really do. Do you want to be back on camera? He's jumping at me. Go on then. Go and play. Not with my notepad. Okay, the camera might wobble because he's now going to play around with the tripod. The next bag that I kind of regret selling, before I tell you some that I sold that I actually am glad I sold, that the regret has not come back in. It's kind of, again, I regret it, but I don't regret it, but I do. It's this bag. And I'm not going to name the person who bought it. You actually only bought it like a month or two ago, and I'm so glad you bought it because it matches your wardrobe perfectly. You've been so kind as to, like, I feel like I've made friends with you actually on Instagram. You've sent me loads of pictures of like your wardrobe and your personal style, and that bag has just gone to the best home possible. I bought it in 2017 at Heathrow Airport, and I remember buying it, and we were on our way to Crete to go on holiday, and I saw it in the window, and it was just like the most beautiful colour, and that was why I bought it. I bought that bag because of the colour. The Cocoa Top handle is a beautiful bag, and if they did that in the larger size, knowing me back then, I was into small bags, I wouldn't have bought the larger size. But if I had bought the larger size, I know I would never have sold that bag because I would be using it now. Now I use larger bags, like, except for if I'm just going around the block with the dog, and then I'll use that, and it's really, this was like £38 or something. It wasn't a lot of money, £40, something like that. But I sold that bag and I miss it. It was cheerful. I miss the colour of it. It was so beautiful. But why did I sell it? I sold it, and this is what I need to remind myself of. I sold it because I hadn't used it in over 6 years. I remember using it a couple of times back in 2017, 2018 maybe even, and I haven't used it since then. Now, a couple of bags just to finish that I sold that I'm actually glad that I did. First of all, do you remember this one, the Goyard? It was the Saigon tote, oh no, Saigon bag. Anyway, I sold it because that bag felt really cheap. The handle, it was really weird, but the actual bag itself was light as a feather, but the handle, because it was wood, was really heavy, so proportionally it just felt really off. It just felt cheap. It didn't feel like an expensive bag. And in fact, the bag I wanted was this. Couldn't get that. And they offered me the one I sold instead, the little black one. And I bought it because at the time it was, oh God, it's a long story, but they were like, oh, it's so exclusive and you can't get it. And I got hooked into it. I will confess, I got hooked into that and I bought it. And it's not that I didn't like it, it's just that after using it a few times, I was like, no, I've road tested it. It kind of feels a bit rubbish, you know, it just doesn't feel expensive. And I was always worried as well about the hand-painted monogram on that bag because it felt really fragile. And then the final bag I got rid of that I don't regret getting rid of at all is the Louis Vuitton Neverfull in the GM size, so the largest size. I actually gave that bag away to one of you guys years ago. And I don't regret it. Louis, shh. Can you hear him? He's going to attack my socks. Louis, don't do that. Yeah, so that was another bag that I sold, and I'm like, do you know, I'm actually really glad I didn't keep hold of that because that bag was problematic. It was not good for security or safety. Sorry about the noise. It was not good for safety or security. And it was just annoying. It used to flop open all the time. It was just an annoying bag. And they're the things that I kind of do and don't regret selling. Never work with children or animals, they say. And this is truth right now. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it here because he's going to drive us all mad right now with the noise. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.